Now it's time to hear the stories of Utes in their own words. This is Utes Insider presented by Pepsi. Here's your host, Mike Lageschulte.
Hello once again. Welcome in. And today's show brought to you by University of Utah Health, the official healthcare provider for the Utes and you. There's only one you. Be treated that way. Visit uvuhealth.org/Utes. Well, it's amazing how the complexion of a football season can change over the course of a few moments. And Utah has gone through a sequence of those in recent games because of sophomore quarterback Cameron Rising. He's a native of Ventura, California. He came out of high school, the number 8 rated pro-style quarterback by Rivals.com. He signs with Texas, redshirts there in 2018, but he was behind Sam Ehlinger, who was just a year ahead of him. Sam putting up big numbers. It was clear he was the number one guy, was going to keep that job. So Rising decides to transfer. He comes to Utah. He's hopeful of being cleared to play in 2019, but the NCAA did not grant his approval. He's forced to sit out once again. So 2 years now he's been sitting. Finally, in 2020, he wins the starting job for the Utes, but we all know what happened last year. It was COVID-19. The year did not start until November. He finally gets his first action against USC at Rice-Eccles, but early in the game, he suffers a shoulder injury. He's done for the year. Question was, how could he come back? So in the offseason, Utah adds transfer Charlie Brewer from Baylor. Brewer put up big-time numbers at Baylor. A veteran guy who would come in for 1 year, so they thought, okay, let's get some depth and see what happens. So Rising did not play in the spring, comes back in the fall. Brewer, Rising battled out. Brewer wins the job, but through 2.5 games, it was pretty apparent that the offense just was not running the way it needed to under Charlie Brewer. So here we go to the San Diego State game on the road. Utah down by 14 points. Late third quarter, Rising gets the call. He comes in, rallies the team, gets the game to overtime. Utah loses, but it was apparent they had found their guy in Rising. So Brewer transfers. Rising clear-cut number 1. The next week, pretty good numbers for Rising in this first start against Washington State. But the USC game last week was really where you felt like he took control of this team. There was a key stretch from the 4-minute mark of the second quarter to the 9-minute mark of the third quarter. Utah, during that time, scored 4 TDs to take a 35-10 lead. Rising threw for 2 of the touchdowns, ran for another. For the game, he completes 76% of his passes for 306 yards, accounts for 4 TDs. Utah goes on to get its first win ever in the Coliseum, 42-26. They moved to 2-0 in conference play, setting up a huge game against number 18 Arizona State this Saturday. And Rice-Eccles, the Sun Devils, also undefeated in conference play. So I thought, let's meet this guy, Cam Rising, our guest next on Utes Insider in just a moment.
To hear more episodes of this show and other Utah Athletics podcasts, search for them on iTunes, Spotify, and YouTube. Now, back to more of Utes Insider presented by Pepsi.
All right, we're joined now by a guy who has given some life to this Utah offense the past few weeks, Cam Rising, the quarterback from California who has taken over as a starter. Cam, thanks for joining us.
Of course, glad to be here.
Let's talk about your journey. So you grew up in California, highly recruited out of high school. You go to Texas, you redshirt there in 2018. You decide to transfer. What was it about Utah that stood out to you during that decision-making process?
Just how much of a family aspect really this program has, and just the coaches, they're unreal. They do a great job with what they do, and just knowing Coach Witt's rap sheet, he produces great athletes year in, year out, and really knows how to win games, and I just wanted to be a part of that.
I know you came here your first year hoping to play. You had the red shirt in 19, but talking to your teammates, they say, that year you ran the scout team offense. They just could feel a vibe from you, dedication from you, some energy, despite the fact you could not play. Where's that come from? I mean, you have a positivity about you. You're a natural leader. Where's that come from?
Really just putting the team first. In that situation, it sucked for me, but it was what it was, and just had to take advantage of that moment and make sure that the team is in the best situation by me playing a scout team quarterback and doing whatever I can to help make sure that defense is ready to go when they play.
Well, you certainly made an impression on your teammates of voted you captain this year because of that in part. But, last year you finally get a chance to play. You earned a starting job. It was a weird year because of COVID-19. We don't play games until, November, December, and then you get hurt. So for you basically had 3 years only playing 1 game. How frustrating was that to get to the point where you had the starting job, you get hurt, and you're done for a while again? How frustrating was that for you?
It was a tough pill to swallow at first, but it was what it was, and I had to make the most of that moment. And as hard as it got in those moments, just making sure that I continue to put the team first and just make sure that it's bigger than me to make sure I can get back to this situation.
All right, so they bring Charlie Brewer in, in case you're not ready to go, they need another option, they felt like. And Charlie, you and him two of you had a great battle in fall camp. You won the job, but, still you had some more years to play. At that point, were you thinking, hey, I'm going to play some this year, I still feel good about this fall? Where was your mindset after losing the starting job during fall camp?
Well, I had just went through it. Injuries happen or whatever.
Right.
The season can be crazy at any time. And just making sure that I was ready and preparing as though I was the starter in those situations to make sure if there was anything that arose during the season that I was ready in those situations.
As I said, your teammates voted you team captain despite the fact you were the number 2 guy. That, to me, speaks volumes. You've got a senior who won the job, but you've been around. For you to be voted captain in that time period, what did that mean to you?
It's a tremendous honor. Whenever you can have a group of 110 or 115 or I think around there, guys vote for you, it's a tremendous honor. And I just really appreciate everyone for voting for me. And I love this team. So it's awesome to be in this situation.
Well, you come into the game against San Diego State and you obviously had some juice in you. Your teammates responded to you. I mean, you could just tell the situation was right for you in that moment to seize that you did well. I mean, you rallied the team and got into overtime. You lost the game, but it was obvious you were a difference maker. When you got the tap on the shoulder, hey, you're going in, what's going through your mind in that San Diego State game?
We got to come back. We got to go try and get back into a situation to where we can win this game. And we battled our rear ends off and made sure that we got into that situation, but just came up a little short.
All right, you grew up in California as a kid. You had a nice game against Washington State at home, but that USC game last week was kind of the signature moment for you. A 300-yard game, you threw for 3 touchdowns, ran for another. As a kid who grew up watching the Trojans, to go to the Coliseum, give the Utes their first win there ever, what did that moment mean to you last Saturday night?
It's a surreal moment. It was crazy. I had to do a few interviews, but I didn't really want to. I kind of wanted to go on the field, and I really wanted to talk to my mom because she wasn't able to be there. It was a surreal moment.
The play of the year so far had to be the flea flicker. It's 4th and 1, end of the first half. 1, how much had you worked on that play? And 2, when the play call comes in, what's going through your mind?
The play call came in was actually supposed to be a QB sneak, which was wristband 44.
Okay.
And the QB that usually signals it in called it 4-4. He said wristband 4-4, and I knew wristband number 4 was the flea flicker, so I was thinking, let's go throw a touchdown. Let's go get it. And
so it was a play that wasn't supposed to happen that did, basically.
Yep, pretty much. And they called the timeout, and then we decided to stick with it, and yeah.
Wow. So I'm watching the play, and you had a similar look formation-wise, and then you run the play, they call timeout. I'm like, okay, they're going to play off of that look and run this play, and it worked out beautifully. So the ball comes back to you. You see Devon running. Yeah. Are you thinking, we got this?
Yeah, get the ball to him as fast as I can and just throw it as far out there as I can.
Well, again, it was the signature moment this year. I thought that kind of turned the game clearly in Utah's favor. You guys you're coming on at that point, but to me, that really is where that game swung. Plus, you scored first possession of the second half. Let's talk about this team now. I mean, a couple losses in non-conference play, but you're 2-0 in the Pac-12. You control your own destiny at this point. How good can this Utah team be this season?
We still have all our goals right there in front of us. We want to do this for Aaron and also Ty, and just make sure that we're preparing as though it is a playoff, it is a championship game. It is a Pac-12 championship game every time we're stepping out there on that field, and that's our goal, to make sure that we're doing that.
You mentioned Ty and Aaron. This team's been through a lot the last 9, 12 months, but especially the last 2 to 3 weeks with Aaron Lowe's passing. Just first off, what did he mean to you as a teammate and a person?
It's surreal. Just a person that you come in and you see and you give a hug every day and say, what's up, my brother? It's good to see you, stuff like that. And somebody that you work all year round with, just crazy. And just waking up just kind of just broke my heart just when I heard that. The first thing I hear in the morning, and especially because I heard Ty first thing in the morning too. And just crazy situation. Aaron meant the world. I love him and gonna miss him very dearly. But yeah, that was a tough one for sure.
Yeah, probably a fortunate bye week after that happened, and then you got the big win, emotional win at USC, but you're home this Saturday. I know this fan base can't wait to put their collective arms around this team on Saturday. What's it going to mean for this team to go out there around the tunnel and play in front of the fans on Saturday night?
Oh, it's going to be a great moment. We're going to need all of Rice Eccles to be rocking. It's going to be a great environment, going to be a great game. Looking forward to it, and it's going to be exciting.
All right, couple keys for Utah to play well and get the win against Arizona State from an offensive side.
Just play sound football, making sure that we're keeping the ball going north and south all game, and just playing sound football.
All right, well, excited for you. Your hard work and your patience has paid off, and you've got a lot of time to play here. Just a redshirt sophomore. Good luck the rest of the way this season and beyond.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
For more on Utah athletics, including up-to-date schedules and ticket information, log on to utahutes.com. Now back to more of Utes Insider presented by Pepsi.
And once again, my thanks to Cameron Rising for dropping by this show. You know, as I talked to him, it was so easy to see why his teammates elected him team captain. He has all the tangibles, a great energy about him, positivity, leadership, all the things you want in a starting quarterback. And again, just a redshirt sophomore, a lot of football ahead, hopefully for Cameron Rising in the Utah program. Well, as we mentioned, the tragic passing of Aaron Lowe a few weeks ago, and the team had a chance to go to Aaron's hometown for the service this past week on Monday. They have established the Aaron Lowe Memorial Scholarship Fund. If you want to contribute, go to this website. It's yougive.app.utah.edu. Do a search for the Aaron Lowe Memorial Scholarship Fund, and you can contribute there. And you also may have seen this over the weekend on social media. Great job by the football staff to design these, and they will be sold at the Utah Red Zone. There's a T-shirt with the slogan, 22% better every day, to honor Aaron Lowe, as well as Ty Jordan, the Utah running back who passed away last December. The T-shirts aren't available at this point, but keep checking back to the website for the Utah Red Zone at uredzone.com. The proceeds will go to scholarship funds in honor of both Aaron and Ty, and our thoughts go out to Aaron's family and friends as they continue to grieve after his passing just a few weeks ago. Once again, our thanks to Cameron Rising for dropping by the show. Also, thanks to Kate Zabrowski and Mike Gillen on the technical side. That will do it for us. I'm Mike Lageschulte. Until next time, so long, everybody.
This has been Utes Insider presented by Pepsi. To hear more episodes of this show and other Utah athletics podcasts, search for them on iTunes, Spotify, and YouTube.